Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus, bringing you the Chef's Choice and Weekly Gaming News. This week for November 9th, 2015. So last week was actually a really quiet week as far as news was concerned, but there were a couple big news articles that went and caught my eye. So we're going to go and start with one of the largest from earlier last week, and that's the announcement that Activision Blizzard has acquired King Games, or rather is in the process of going and acquiring King Games for a monumental amount of money, $5.9 billion cash. So this is definitely big news in that it's a large video game publishing house going and buying another video game developer that goes and has a really proven track record at this point. Although I personally am not a fan of King Games, I think what they go and do is rather shady overall, going and ripping off other people's IPs and then going and using the shady mobile freemium type mechanics to go and get money out of people. But that aside, you can't go and argue about their success. And with this acquisition, it goes and brings some of the largest franchises in various genres under one house, Activision Blizzard. You've got the World of Warcraft as far as MMOs are concerned. You've got really big titles like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm also from Blizzard. And then you've got Activision's Call of Duty franchise, which is arguably the largest multiplayer shooter franchise that's out there. And then you go and add in this massive casual game market as well. So that gives Activision a lot of power in the video game industry. And I definitely hope things go and work out well with this, but I'm a little worried of what direction this could possibly go and spell. So that being the case, how do you guys go and feel about this acquisition? Do you think it's a great thing for developers to go and be bought up by these large AAA companies? Or do you feel that a developer should go and stay independent to go and not necessarily in King Games particular direction, but go and keep the creativity going and flowing to be able to go and make the choices that they want to? If you have any thoughts on it, please go and leave some in the comments below. So that's the really big news story from this week. And going and moving on, we have a couple smaller news articles that I can go and report on. This one's kind of an update to something I went and said in my coverage for the Sony Paris Game Week video. In the news video I went and said about that, I was noting that I was surprised that hadn't heard anything new about The Last Guardian. And I guess that was addressed with their Senior Vice President Yoshida Shuhei with GameStop, is that he went and said that the development is going well, but they don't want to go and share footage of it, so they're not going and spoiling the title. It is a strongly story-based game, so the more video they go and show, the more will ultimately go and get spoiled. Holding that back is actually something that's really nice, but it was nice at the same time to go and hear the development is going and progressing, and that we will eventually go and see that title as it had kind of moved into the realm of vaporware. So definitely looking forward to that one, get more news about that one, but maybe trying to keep myself spoiled free. So there's that. And then moving on to our last article this week. As I mentioned, it's definitely a small week. This one is definitely more in the rumor category, since it doesn't really confirm anything. But Sega this past week went and registered a trademark for Valkyria Azure Revolution, which goes and matches the trademark they filed earlier in mid-October for Alki Kakume no Valkyria, which basically translates to Blue Revolution of Valkyria, or you can reverse the order of that. So I'm going and definitely hoping that these trademark filings go and means that Sega is going and developing and is planning to go and bring back the Valkyria Chronicles franchise. I love those titles so much, and I think they're some of the best examples of strategy RPGs that have gone and under a slight how to go and say, the strategy RPGs that aren't just straight strategy RPGs, that go and bring something new to the table. They're definitely innovative and original, and also beautifully designed. So it'd be really great to go and see the franchise go and revive, as it's been a number of years since Sega went and released the last Valkyria Chronicles. I believe it came out in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So if the series does go and make a return, that's wonderful, wonderful news. But as I went and said, this is definitely one of those that goes and fits fits into the rumor category, as a trademark filing doesn't necessarily go and mean anything concrete. But here's hoping. Alright, that'll just about wrap it up for this week's news. Thank you so much for going and coming out and joining me today. If you go and have any news articles that you think I should go and report about, by all means, please go and leave those in the comments below. Or if you have any other comments that you'd like to go and leave, I'd love to go and hear from you. One more time, thank you so much for coming out and joining me today for Fitaurus's weekly gaming news, and we'll go and see you again next week.